Hello everyone, welcome to the first video of this channel. Today we'll be learning some basics of the deadliest and most badass weapons to ever exist. Actually, it's more of a martial arts equipment rather than an actual weapon. Bruce Lee's favorite, the nunchucks. Now all details are ahead, but first of all, welcome to the Prowess K. I picked up this skill apart from a few others as well from my childhood trainings and then my continuous work and self-learning. Out of a number of people to whom I've had the opportunity to pass the skill on and whom I've trained with, quite a few suggested me to put out a video on a universal platform to pass it on as far and as wide as possible. So here I am. This video is the first part wherein I'll be explaining and demonstrating the really basic nunchuck skills that I have not only learned but also deeply observed during my training. It will surely help beginners and even intermediates to understand and properly control the nunchuck. In the videos to come, I'll be demonstrating some more techniques, after which you'll be able to do this. Pretty cool, huh? An important note. It requires patience and a hell lot of practice. Now there are n number of nunchucks in the market, but the one that beginners need to focus on are the foam nunchucks. They are basically very soft, and even if you don't get the technique right or it swings out of your control, you still won't hurt yourself, because trust me, if you get hit by a wooden or a steel nunchuck, that hurts. That really hurts. Also, before you begin with anything, you must know how to hold the nunchuck. The standard length of one nunchuck staff is around 12 inches or 1 foot. This is one staff. So it can be anywhere from 10 to 12 inches, but depending upon the manufacturer. But a foot length is the standard. It is basically your arm's length in almost every case. So coming to the grip, there are basically pressure ratios which should be distributed to each finger, which is in a sequence of 10, 8, 6 and 4. This is the power ratio that I personally prefer. It means that when you're holding a staff, if you rate your hand strength on a scale of 1 to 10, your index finger would be applying full strength. That's a 10. Followed by the other 3 fingers in the order of 8, 6 and 4. By doing this, you will be holding the nunchuck with a decreasing level of power, with your index finger holding the nunchuck the hardest and the little finger or the pinky holding it the lightest. This may sound trivial at this point, but it's very important, as because of this you'll not only ensure that you have a good grip over the nunchuck, but it will also ensure that you have a good range of swiveling of the nunchuck too, which is pretty important. Otherwise, either you could hurt yourself or the nunchuck can simply fly away.
Ow, what the f***?
That would be bad. Also, needless to say, but I figure it should be worth mentioning, you should hold the nunchuck from near about the center, not way too up, because this chain can practically hurt you, or not way down as well, because the nunchuck would swivel too hard and that's not good. Basically, holding it at the center works for me, so do it. So, enough of chit chats, let's go and train. The first technique that we'll be focusing on is one of the fundamentals, pretty basic and simple, yet equally important: the wrist rotations. The first exercise, wrist rotations. So, start slowly, start swiveling it at a moderate to low pace. Not too fast, don't keep your wrists locked at all, as it can lead to injuries, severe ones. Just try to keep it smooth. It's the first exercise, remember. Slowly, you will get the hang of it, and then you can increase your pace. Now what you do with your right hand, you will do with your left. So, start swiveling it again in your left hand. Try to be as comfortable with it as possible with both hands, because learning this skill with both hands is definitely much better and recommended. You'll have equal motor skills in both your hands, which is what you exactly want. So practice this exercise, which will ultimately lead to a greater control over the nunchucks. However, there's one more thing. You have to practice moving along with this exercise as well, because it's when you move that you experience certain difficulties in controlling the other staff of the nunchuck that's not in your hand. First of all, pardon me for looking like a stealthy cat who's trying to outmaneuver himself, but this is how it's done. This is how you'll gain control, and you do it with both hands, your right and your left. Train both, and then leave the scene cinematically. Moving on, we'll be learning about some of the basic techniques of how to hold a nunchuck while it's in both of your hands. Up till now we've learned just the basic wrist rotation. The second part is when you both hold it with both the hands. So let's understand the basics by just looking at the hands. Alright, so your right hand will basically rotate this way, and it's going to go at a 90-degree angle. Alright, so basically it's wrist rotation and 90 degrees angle. This. Alright, the left hand will just slide across your stomach, and that's it. It'll be holding the nunchuck from beneath your right arm. So how do we do it? This is the nunchuck, as I said, rotate and 90-degree angle. It will go this and this, and as I said, the left arm will cross your stomach. So this will be the holding technique. First of all, start with holding the nunchuck parallel to your body, or rather parallel to the ground, and then start with the movement. So it will be rotate 90 degree and your left hand crossing your stomach. By this, you will have a much enhanced understanding, I would say, of the nunchuck, of both the individual staffs. You have to understand this is just a simple connection mechanism between two rods. It can be anything, it can be of metal, it can be of foam, it can be of wood, anything. So two staffs connected by a rope. You'll have to understand this. Only after that can you isolate both in your head, and you'll be able to analyze where one staff is going as you're holding onto the other one. So again, like this, and then you come back using the same movement, the movement that you made while going on the right hand side. It will come back again using the same technique. Rotate 90 degree, so it will be 90 degree and rotate. Alright, the left hand, it went across your stomach, it will come back to the normal position. Alright, so here we go, 1 and 2. Now, as I said in the previous part, what you do with your right hand, you'll do with your left hand too. The same movement in your left hand, rotate and 90 degree. Rotate, and this rotation with respect to your body is anti-clockwise. Here it's clockwise. Alright, in the right hand it's clockwise, in the left hand it's anti-clockwise. So it's basically away from your body. Great. Here, rotate and 90 degree. Do it simultaneously, and the same with your right hand. It will cross your stomach. So just like that. Rotate 90 degree, and your right hand, and the opposite hand, I mean, it crosses your stomach. Great. So we'll do this and this. So we go to the right and to the left. So you have to practice this after the wrist rotations. It will basically help you to analyze where both the staffs are going on an individual basis. You'll have an understanding for the upcoming move. This is pretty banged up from practice. That wasn't good. I remember that time. That was bad. The next move that we are going to practice is hitting your arm. Yes, you heard that right. Hitting your arm, because you have to be comfortable in that. You have to be comfortable with the nunchuck sometimes hitting you, because that's the harsh reality. So after you practice this move, after you mastered this move, basically you are comfortable with moving your arms to the side and holding the nunchuck in this position. Your next move would be hit yourself with the nunchuck. How are you going to do it? The same holding technique. Hold the nunchuck, hold the staff of the nunchuck from almost the center, and your arm would be at a 90 degree. Now remember, if your arm is like this or extended way too back, you'll not be able to judge where the other staff is going. Now that's how the brain works, I'm not sure, but that happened. That has happened with me, so that might happen with you too. So you'll be holding your arm at a 90 degrees, approximate 90 degrees, yeah, holding the nunchuck parallel to your bicep, and then you'll be using your wrist to give the nunchuck a momentum, a basic momentum. As the staff would go, you would make sure, you have to make sure now that this part, this, not the exact center or the end of the nunchuck, of the staff to be precise, but the upper part of the staff should touch your bicep. That way what will happen is, when the staff goes like this, it would hit your bicep and it would automatically bounce back. If it's not the upper part of the staff that touches your bicep, it would not bounce and you will be hurt by it. So keep that in mind. Rotate your wrist forward again, and the nunchuck staff would hit the front part of your bicep. Now this is important, that the nunchuck hits at the same spot that it hit before. The upper part of the staff should hit your bicep. Only then will it bounce back. So this is the basic technique. You hit the back of your bicep and then the front of your bicep. As and when you build speed, you will get to know a lot more about where the other part of the staff is going. which is not in your hand and which is swirling around. Now the same thing to be done with your left hand. You should be comfortable enough. It ultimately becomes involuntary. So yes, that'll be the next technique. Great work up till now. As you get a hang of these basics, you can move on to the next part or the next technique of this training, which is basically the last technique of this video. Mind it, this video. As I said earlier, this is the very basic first part of your training, and in the parts to come, you'll learn a lot more stuff. For now, carry on. Now when you've mastered the wrist rotations, you've mastered the speed, you know where it's going, you're ready for the next technique. So the next technique will be the same as we did before, hitting yourself with the nunchuck, but now you'll be holding the nunchuck staff, the staff that's not in your hand, using the previous technique. How? This and this. Again, you'll be holding the staff using the same technique that we practiced earlier. This one, you'll be rotating your wrists, the nunchuck staff would go back, and then you'll be catching the staff. Now once you've caught the staff on the right hand side, you'll leave it. That's it, plain and simple. As and when the staff in your right hand is going down, you'll swivel the nunchuck towards the left and you'll use the same technique to catch. You'll catch the other staff on the left hand side of your body. So here you go, you catch it, you leave, and you catch it on the other side. Repeat the process. Leave, catch, leave, catch, leave, catch, leave, catch. Now make sure that you practice this move all along. Make sure that you don't break that 90-degree angle that has to be formed between your body and your arm. That will ultimately lead to the nunchuck hitting either your elbow, or worse, it could just swivel back and hit your head too. That has happened to me once and that's painful. So you have to swivel, catch, leave, catch, leave, catch. This will be the process. Don't, as I said, don't break the 90 degrees, otherwise it could hit you hard and that would be painful. As you practice this move, you'll be improving your speed and you'll be improving your hand-eye coordination with the nunchuck. So that'll look cool too. So that's it for the video, guys. Make sure you leave a like. Let me know how you found the video and what all you think can be improved in it. Follow me on Instagram and share it with all your friends to help them learn this cool new self-defense skill. And lastly, to get some really cool videos, basic life stuff, and some random new skills, don't forget to subscribe to the Prowess K.